microbes to sharks. I've assembled interdisciplinary teams that have built the first shark eye camera to see the world from a shark's perspective, and have collaborated with engineers to design robots so gentle that they don't even stress a jellyfish. But it wasn't until 2018, when I was on fellowship at the Radcliffe Institute for Advanced Study, that I realized that perhaps the best way to understand the ocean and its inhabitants wasn't just by seeing the world through their eyes, but by listening, by really deeply listening. I became interested in sperm whales when I heard their sounds.
Say properly.
It sounds so funny.
Yeah, no, cannot. That's why this. Must watch this one first, okay?
But I like funny one.
No. No press.
In 1977, the physicist Edward Purcell calculated that if you push a
这是老师，
bacteria
你要
and
听
let
老师的
go,
话
it will stop in
要
about a millionth of a second. In
要
that time,
他
it
们
will have
会
traveled less than the width of a single atom. The same holds true for a sperm and many other microbes. It all has to do with being really small.
very small.
Microscopic creatures inhabit a world alien to us, where making it through an inch of water is an incredible endeavor. But why does
So
size
empty.
matter so much for a swimmer? What makes the world of a sperm so fundamentally different from that of a sperm whale? To find out, we need to dive into the physics of fluids. Here's a way to think about it. Imagine you're
the
swimming in a
sperm-
pool.
the
It's
sperm
you
will
and a
drive
whole
you.
bunch of water molecules.
And
Water
so-
molecules outnumber you 1,000 trillion trillion to 1.
Thousand.
So
Yes.
pushing past them with your
1,000.
gigantic body is easy. But if you were really small, say you were about the size of a water molecule, all of a sudden it's like you're swimming in a pool of people. Rather than simply swishing by all the teeny tiny molecules, now every single water molecule is like another person you have to push past to get anywhere. In 1883, the physicist Osborne Reynolds figured out that there is one simple number that can predict how a fluid will behave. It's called the Reynolds number, and it depends on
Reynolds number.
simple properties like the size of the swimmer, its speed, the density of the fluid, and the stickiness or viscosity of the fluid. What this means is that creatures of very different sizes inhabit vastly different worlds.
So
For example,
many
because of its huge size, a sperm whale inhabits the large Reynolds number.
300 million.
If it flaps its tail once, it can coast
30
ahead for an
million.
incredible distance.
And this one.
Meanwhile,
300,000.
sperm live in a low
What is
Reynolds
this?
number world. If a sperm were to stop flapping its tail, it wouldn't even coast past a single atom. To imagine what it would feel like to be a sperm, you need to bring yourself down to its Reynolds number. Picture yourself in a tub of molasses, with your arms moving about as slow as the minute hand of a clock, and you'd have a pretty good idea of what a sperm is up against. So how do microbes manage to get anywhere? Well, many don't bother swimming at all. They just let the food drift to them. This is somewhat like a lazy cow that waits for the grass under its
Lazy guy, we wait for
But
the
many
grass to
microbes
grow.
do swim, and this is where those incredible
He don't know
adaptations
how to
come in.
play. Wait for
Yeah.
grass to grow out.
Yes, you don't know.
Don't know how
By
to
cleverly
arrange
flexing their
inside.
paddles,
It's
they
a
can
lazy,
drag on the power
sleepy
stroke without
bum.
recovery support. Single-celled organisms like Paramecia manage to inch their way through the crowd of water molecules. But there's an even more ingenious solution arrived at by
Water
bacteria
and
and
the
sperm.
smallest
Instead of wagging their paddles back and forth, they wind
smallest
them like a
particle is
corkscrew.
the
Just
molecule.
as a corkscrew on a wine bottle converts winding motion
I
into
don't know,
forward
let me
motion,
see.
these
Wait,
tiny
wait.
creatures
Finish.
spin their helical tails to
Yeah, I
push
finish
themselves
this one
forward.
first, okay?
In a world where
Must have
water
patience
pools
every
as
time.
thick as cork.
Finish every
strategies are
whatever you
experimented.
start, you must
Some
finish.
bacteria take Batman's
Then
approach.
that is
They use grappling hooks to
Batman.
pull themselves along.
Whee!
They can even use this grappling hook like a slingshot and fling themselves forward. Others use chemical engineering. H. pylori lives only in the slimy
It's a
acidic
Yakult.
mucus inside our stomachs.
Inside the
It releases
Yakult, you
a
have
chemical
this.
that thins out the surrounding mucus, allowing it to glide through slime. Maybe it's no surprise that these guys are also responsible for stomach ulcers.
Stomach
So when you
ulcer.
look really, really closely at our bodies and the world around us, you can see all sorts of tiny creatures finding clever ways to get around in a sticky situation.
Pew.
Without these adaptations, bacteria would never find their hosts, and sperms would never make it to their eggs. Which means you would never get stomach ulcers, but you would also never be
Watch next.
Okay.
Haven't finished.
born in the first place.
up. The end. Okay, let's go.